a beautiful day. Good morning. This is today's live on Equa Television International, and we're so excited that you could join us for this episode of today's live today. Every Friday we talk about social media, and today we are looking at the topic social media standards. Social media standards. My name is Jemima Emmanuel, and I'll be doing this together with Prudence, Joyce, Jakada, and Solomon Sambo. Good morning.
I just knew that my son would follow after the Joyce, but I'm happy. Thank you, Jemima Emmanuel. You look so beautiful.
Thank you. Prudence, good morning.
Good morning.
But you
How are
mention
you?
Prudence surname, and we don't know.
Prudence Burga.
I just had Prudence, Joyce, Jakada.
Is it Burga or Burga?
It doesn't matter. So far,
If
the
you ask
spelling
Prudence
is
to
right.
pronounce it now, it's Prudence you here.
My dear Lord. I don't
You
understand
you
why
hear
I feel attacked on this set this morning. It should not be an attack.
We're
Like
not attacking you.
I should not be
even
attacked.
We miss you.
advocating for
We miss you yesterday.
Okay.
I said they call
That's true.
everybody with his surname, but they didn't call your surname, so you should call the surname.
So how is that an attack?
She said if I say my surname, you hear Turenchi.
Okay. So sorry, oh.
Okay, say it.
Virga.
Like Joyce will always say, thank God it's Friday, right? But not thank God it's Friday for the negative reasons.
Of course.
True, very true, very true.
Of course,
Most times
yeah.
when you hear people say TGIM, come on. Like, there's gonna be party tonight. There's gonna be no. Don't go and party and tomorrow and Monday.
As you are partying, know that another week is coming.
Especially that is even, salary week or weekend.
Honestly.
I mean, I saw a lot of posts how that salary people that earn salary are frowning their face because the salary
They don't
that
respond to greeting
that they don't
anymore.
respond to greeting now, that they should not forget that next week. So business people now are saying that salary earners, please don't be frowning your face. Remember that there's first week of the month, there's second week as well.
True.
So the fact that you are in money does not mean, we know, if you like, don't admit, but we know that you are in money. Please pick your family members' calls, pick your friends' calls. Don't come and tell
And
us
release
that-
your face, don't tie it.
And there's something about people that earn salary. Remember, they will tell you before when you ask them, how far now the month have ended, they will tell money that have finished since they've not
Exactly.
money
That's
has
the
not landed,
punchline.
but it has
That's
finished.
the punchline.
Honestly.
But she call you now.
Yeah, so today we're looking at social media standards. We are in a world today that is like social media does not have any guidelines at all, because you see people doing a lot of things that should not even be heard of, should not even be spoken of. So social media standards is what we're looking at today. The guidelines, the rules and regulations that control people's behaviors on social media, that control even the content you're creating and writing over there for people's consumption, the interactions that you have with people. How do you interact with people? Many people have fallen victims of a lot of negativity on social media, and the same social media has also brought about results of positive change in people. So the guidelines, we're looking at it, we're trying to assess it. Okay, how has it not been handled well? How has it helped others and then caused others' reputations down? And how does it help people to navigate the usage?
Okay. You see, when a lot of people want to question, the topic is in quote, social media standards. Who set the standards? And what are the parameters for measuring who follows or who does not follow? And what is even the impact of those standards, in quotes, that has been set? For all of the different social media handles that exist, there is always terms and conditions. And that is why Facebook, for example, when you go against some of their terms, they restrict you, or they ban you, or they do, like, they take action against you because you actually agreed to their terms, to their condition. But in this context now, looking at the fact that we're in an era where social media is the in thing, is like the new community, is the new way family, friends meet, they relate. It will amaze you to know that people can be in the same room and they are chatting instead of talking to each other. Like, so it has become the new norm. But the standards, social media have been setting a lot of standards in today's life that people are upholding. And who are the people setting the standard? The people that are in the social media, not even about the people that, those that own the handles have their terms and conditions. But today you find out that people have set standard as regard how people should behave, how people should talk, how people should dress, how people should relate with one another, what you should take from your partner, what you should not take from your partner, what love is, what love is not, and then how you should be friends with people, and when people cross certain line, how you should cut them off. And sometimes you read some write-ups on social media and you are like, where is this coming from? What is the ideology behind this? Like, I'm in a place in my life where silence is everything. I appreciate silence, and like, is that why God created you? Like, in the first place, when God created us, did he say silence is what I want? Like, or he said, I want man to be alone. He does not need a woman. Because that's what we are seeing on social media. They tell you how you should appreciate your privacy, your personal life, your space. Like, I appreciate silence, a lot of quotes. So sometimes you wonder who is setting the standards. And why are we adhering to it? And somebody will copy it and go to his own WhatsApp status and post it. And apart from posting it, you start living it. You are in a point in your life where silence is. You are at the stage where if man give you this, you give him back. So
I just find it really disheartening, Joyce. It's like the norm now that everywhere you go, the social media has massive influence even in our day-to-day activities, in our day-to-day life. And you see a lot of things. Like, earlier this year, we started out the year with no grief for anyone, right? Yes. And interestingly, until today, you find that there are certain people that are still living by that. And this is a standard from the social media, telling you that you don't have to respect authority, you don't have to respect the elderly, you don't have to respect nobody. Recently, I was in a cab with an older woman, and this guy stopped the we call it keke napep, right? And this guy stops the keke and he says he's going somewhere. Then he walks majestically to the keke, and the older woman was like, "We are waiting for you. Can you hasten up?" From where he was, he stared he was just raking. He was just saying some certain things. Up until he sat down in the keke, he was making grudging noise. Like, you could literally hear that he was displeased. And I'm not saying that it was wrong of him expressing that he was displeased, but it was rude. The way he was approaching it was rude. So this is someone saying, I'm no grief for anyone. It's obvious even in his behavior. You find that a lot of times what you see on the social media, the kind of wedding you see on the social media is the kind of wedding that you want to have. The kind of marriage you see on the social media is the kind of marriage you want to have.
The kind of makeup you see is the kind of makeup, the kind of dress you to see. Like even photo shoots. Like, people save pictures and they want to imitate it. That's the standard, that when your birthday comes, this is how you should snap your picture. When your wedding comes, this is the kind of gown.
And if you don't do photo shoots during your birthday, it's like that year has passed.
Exactly, you have not celebrated your birthday. And there's also no offense to those that do that, but and there's also
wait, let me clarify this. My point is, I'm not saying photo shoot is wrong, but when you are following the standard that the social media is setting for you, that even if you want to snap the picture, it has to be the way that certain people did it. If it's not like that, then you are like, you don't have the right to even post picture.
My point is that because of photo shoots, now some people they are not in good terms. You understand?
Like, because they're not allowed to snap photo shoots.
They feel
pictures.
without that, and they are forcing some people that they must do that, so they must provide money for them to do photo shoot because they're having a birthday, because they see it as a standard. Without photo shoot, you understand? That's my point. Nothing wrong with photo shoot. You can do your photo shoot any day, anytime. It's okay. But when it's birthday and you make it a priority that 15,000, 20,000 must be spent because Joyce did her own, and because Joyce did her own, I must do my own because I can't just celebrate my birthday and then she's not seeing evidence of new photos like coming. I can't post old pictures and then Joyce is viewing. No, it's not possible.
It has to be a latest.
Let me forgetting that whether you snap the photo shoot or not, your birthday will still come and pass.
No.
As if you were.
That's not even the point for the social media standard.
Yes.
To amaze you, it will amaze you to know that the problem is if when they snap the picture and you don't share it, that's another problem because the standard is that you go and take those pictures and everybody on your friend must share it.
Then you will later come and say you are shocked.
Just send 20 pictures for you that tomorrow is my birthday, please post.
Are you serious right now? I don't do such.
Post.
I will not do that.
Are you serious?
I've received pictures from people.
No, I've received, but I don't send them.
I don't post
I don't.
anything.
I've received pictures from people. They'll share it with me. They'll tell me tomorrow is my birthday, please post.
Wow.
Yes, that's the essence of the photo shoot.
And you find out, Joyce.
And I'm sure they are expecting a long
Don't
biography.
Don't post.
Without even the write-up, they're just expecting you to post that picture because that picture cannot waste. Yes, it's photo shoot purposely for birthday because that's the standard. Now, anybody that is celebrating his birthday must go for photo shoot and must send the pictures to even somebody that for 6 months you haven't chatted. That person must share.
True.
You understand? Somebody in your
They will even go to your status
that
and check
6
whether you
months-
post it or you
6
did not
months
post it.
without you saying hi, hello, how are you? You will just see pictures. 6 months, and then you will like, tomorrow is my birthday. Share. it.
No greeting, no respect.
Like
It is well.
standard.
Honestly, if that is really a standard, I
do
think
that
that
any other
I am
time in
not
the year.
ever going to reach the standard.
The thing is that it's just one among
You are falling short of the
many
standard.
I'm
Oh,
falling
yeah.
short a million
You've
times
not
Step
over.
up, step up.
You've not
I
seen-
cannot step up.
you've
Thank
not
you.
seen those that will go all out to borrow money to get loans just so that they can wear a particular wedding gown that
Yeah.
like 5 people on social media actually
Yes.
wore for their wedding. So if she's getting anything below that, it means that she's not working with the standard that the social media have set. So we like to now our lives. A lot of people just allow the social media those standards. That everybody on social media is beautiful. Everybody on social media is rich. So by the time you feel like I don't have that kind of car, I don't have this kind of, you feel you are less privileged, you are poor, you are forsaken by God, you want to do everything to meet up with that standard. It will shock you to know that some of these people, when you meet them on the street, you're like, True. Like you will just, this is the expression, like, wow. Was it not this person that people go all out to do certain things just to suppress you on social media, but you just think that this is the standard.
Yes.
Somebody will snap 100 pictures and just select 2. So imagine 100 and you select just 2, the best, and post it. And then you are at home, you cannot sleep. You are crying because you think that that's the standard. Your husband is not giving you money. Your man or your fiance or your what is not sponsoring that life for you. So you feel like there are people that break up from their relationship because they feel that this man doesn't have enough for me to meet up with the standard or to compete with what is actually obtainable. A lot of competition, and the question is, who sets those standards?
And these standards make you lose your identity.
Very true.
Because you're trying to live a life that is not yours. You're emulating someone.
Exactly.
And I think is it Joyce that has always said that if you're trying to live someone else's life, you can only be that person's second version.
Exactly.
So why don't you just live your own life and be the
best version, original.
first ever
And the only.
and the only? Do you get? So while trying to emulate other people's standard that they have set for themselves, why don't you just set your own standard based on your own strength that you know you can attain? You don't have to struggle. You don't have to build anybody. You don't have to beg. You don't have to do anything.
You don't have to kill.
You don't have
You
to
don't
kill.
have to kill. You don't have to trample on anyone simply because you want to get there. By so doing, you will not lose your identity. You know your purpose. You know where you're headed.
Exactly.
You know where you're coming from. You're not just lost in the crowd. So it is important that you don't just look at, or it's okay to actually what's the word, to admire someone's standard. It's not bad actually, but then you don't just forget everything about yourself and then focus on another person else.
Exactly. And there's one really disturbing standard that I really find it disturbing for especially my generation. I'm back again. So we see a lot of marriages on the social media that are glamorous. Oh God, they're just beautiful on the outside. You find they have videos. This is what we do. The husband is taking breakfast on bed. The wife is doing this. They're just doing some cute lovey-dovey things, and we totally put our minds to that fact that this is how our marriages should look. Breaking news. It is not like that. You can ask Jemima and Sulu. They will tell you.
Is it?
Very much true.
Very
Extra true.
I saw a video. I laughed. This lady was busy on social media, and she saw all this mushy expression, husband and wife, lovers and all. So she felt, okay, this is a standard now. So her man was there outside thinking of school fees, thinking of house rent, thinking of the next food that they will eat. Especially, they didn't eat it the money he was thinking of. And T came and just tapped him at the back based on the video she saw on social media, and then tapped him at the back and said, I love you. Uncle looked for the nearest thing around him. He followed her. Is everything that is love? You cannot think of food. He was like, what is I love you? You cannot think. What is I love you? I love you. I love you. So who set those standards? Who told you that that's the reality of life? Who told you that you are not unique in your own self?
True.
And that's why I always say you can only be the second version of that person you're looking up to. Why not be your own original version? Why not people appreciate you? Lose your identity, like you see, when you're trying to copy other people. Some of us, our partners are like, your partners are unique. They are like, they have amazing gifts, creativity, and all of that.
And
that
you're
you
expecting
ought
them to look like
appreciate.
somebody else.
But you go and keep forcing the man to be another man.
True.
Like you're watching a movie. You are angry with your husband. You come back home and then you will just frown your face because you expect, based on the movie that you watched, I saw the husband coming back and, oh honey, he hugged her and he pecked her, and you expect that your husband comes back, he will hug you, and if he doesn't hug and peck, you get angry.
That's not love.
That's not love. He does not love you. And then we allow those things define what love is and what love is not.
Exactly.
So you just say, you don't love me. If you love me, how you even leave the house? You will not do as if you see anybody. Because for you, that man that comes, kiss, peg, does this, does bring gifts and all, that's the perfect definition of what love is. So we leave what the true definition. Like for Christians, it will amaze you to know that even Christians like uphold those standards on social media to be the standard for love, for life. Because we have a standard. Look at the example of Christ dying on the cross. Look at the verse, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son. But today we're not looking at love in that perspective. We're looking at love in a different light based on what we see on social media. Some of us are distracted. Some people are just not happy with themselves. Like even your own self, you are angry with yourself. Not because you are not trying in yourself, but because you have been looking at standards on social media. See me at my age, I'm not a CEO. See that my secondary school friend, she owns a big shop, she's driving a car. Like everybody that is doing business in this street is like driving a car. He has his place. Look at how my life is. You don't even know that some of those things that you're seeing, well, for some is actually reality. But for some of these people, you don't know what they had to go through to build that life for themselves. Like legitimately or illegitimately, you don't even care about how it came to be. Your own concern is that let your life too reflect that, because you think that's the standard. But I think it just ought not to be. That's why every day I talk about knowing your purpose, having principles, having values, and then knowing where you are headed. And then when you come to that term, defining all of this, Like you find yourself not distracted by anything. I know who I am. I see you looking all beautiful. Wow, this gown looks good on you. But I know it cannot fit me, for example, because your body and mine is not the same. I can look and appreciate. But if something like, oh, I love this, I think I should try it if I can afford it. But why go all out angry, pain, bitter because I saw something that I think that should be the standard? That if my birthday comes, if I cannot afford photo shoot, why wouldn't I post the one I snap with my phone and then still celebrate? But even if I can't, I don't even have phone to snap picture. Why not go on your knees and appreciate God for the gift of like that's what is more important. But we think that the height of celebration of birthday should be photo shoot. It should not just be the photo shoot. It should be shared, and not just shared. Everybody must post you. If they don't post you, start writing the list of the names of the people that did not post you, and then you are like, share her birthdays next month. She will see even comment. I will not comment on her. You are counting likes. You're reading comments. You're checking the people that commented. Just 100 people. So all these my friends. I gather fake people as friends, and like a lot of things that we put as standard. It's just quite unfortunate.
True.
You know,
Forgetting that the grass is always greener at the other side. Wherever you're standing, you don't see how beautiful your own grass
Garden
is. You're always looking at another person's own. And by the time you make way and get to that grass, you would really begin to admire your own. It causes a lot of confusion a lot of times. I think I had a story that people went to the ATM to get money, and then I think there were like 3 machines, so there were 3 queues. So this guy was in the first queue and he felt like the other queue was moving fast, so he left his queue, went to another one, and then all of a sudden he felt like the one he left
That pain is different.
he felt like, okay, the one he just left is actually moving faster. But when he went to secure the slot he left, they didn't allow him. He had to go back and start all over again. The one he left was moving. He just kept going back and forth and back and forth. So imagine if he had remained in one place and just gotten his money. So a lot of times looking at other people's standards can cause confusion for you.
True.
Imagine 5 people that have great standards, and I'm looking, oh, I like Prudence's own, and then 1 hour later, Joyce's one is way better. And then, wow, I didn't see Solomon's standard in this way. Do you get? You're confused. You're not even giving a lot of time to work on your own standard and grow. Probably, I may even grow and grow beyond every other person, but because you're looking at something else and not appreciating what you have and where you are. Those people that have great standard, they started from somewhere. They said a little drop of water makes an ocean, so it has to start with something little, and gradually you work on it, you get to where you want to be.
Honestly, very true. And I was just looking at this. Someone was saying something that she has a problem with photo shoots. Specifically, no, it's a different photo shoot.
Say me, I will snap picture for my
My
birthday.
sister, there is a September coming.
This is a different photo shoot.
If
We
you can
will
afford
work,
it.
work hard to
This
kick
is a
against
different
that
photo shoot. This is a different photo shoot. Has in specific is the pre-wedding photos. So everybody looks rich on a pre-wedding photo shoot. It's like everybody. There's no poor couple again in the world. There's no couple that is just average. Everybody is rich. They wear their Sunday. In fact, some of them go the extra mile and sew new clothes.
Of course,
for the photo shoot.
Yes, no.
And after
Yes.
the photo shoots, they are not wearing those clothes again.
Yes,
So these are sometimes you go extreme for certain things, and it doesn't even, you are not even focused on actually building yourself and what you're supposed to be focused on. For example, now this pre-wedding photo shoot, you have pre-wedding photo shoots everywhere. Then you also have the wedding day. You're having photo shoots. In fact, some people's pre-wedding photo shoots includes the wedding gown and the wedding suit. Yes, the dresses they wear on the wedding. Okay, so you have flooded the social media with this, and then down the line, 2 days into the marriage, you're saying,
1 week.
no, let's start with the 2 days. 2 days into the marriage, you're saying, why? How did I get here? How did I get myself in this situation? So you were so focused on the glam of the before the wedding that,
and not the marriage itself.
thank you very much. So instead of you to be thinking of how you're going to build the marriage, build yourself, and all those other things, you just focus on all the wrong things. And that's one thing that the social media really does. It is rare for you to see that the social media is giving you
Prudence be fast.
Like the way he has been laughing, I really want to hear what he has to say.
Okay, hold on. Hold that thought. Don't forget it. Hold it. Don't forget it.
You know, you said something earlier that if they think that is the standard, they should ask Jemima earlier, right? So I was just thinking, 1 week into the wedding, and then there's this expectation from your wife,
and that's supposed to still be honeymoon.
Yeah, you get, and then you wake up, and then she look at you, and then she throw one nasty, and then you are like, really?
You're expecting breakfast on bed.
You get, and then the reason why I'm laughing is that at that moment you are thinking, okay, those pictures of yours, you and her, that you posted, you are even thinking of how you will go and crop her face out at that moment, just 1 week into the marriage, simply because there is this expectation, you are feeling, no, this thing will continue, the mushy, the whatever, to tell you that it doesn't end there. That is not just it. And you see this issue of standard. I just feel that it's what is happening in the community, what is happening in our churches, what is happening in our society, that we are taking it back to social media, because it's something that is happening. It's just that in social media, the space is just there, like you are outside your normal cycle. If it's your community, in social media you are outside your community, because you cut across states and even countries, people that know you. So it's just that it's an amplified is an amplified community, because it's beyond your just community. But if you look at it, it's just what is happening in our community. Because come back to the church, in the same church with Prudence, this is the way Prudence did her wedding. And me now, I'm securing a date for my wedding. It has to be the same way Prudence did her own, not knowing, okay, what she went through, her and her husband, to be able to put in place that kind of wedding or marriage that I'm thinking. It becomes a standard in the church to a point. People want to get married in the garden. At some point, if you notice, this church thing that you just come to a church and then you might look for reception ground. No, people just want to go to the reception ground and do everything there. People want to go to the hall, get decorated, and then do the marriage and the reception there. So and someone was saying gradually the issue of coming to the church, to do marriage is fading, because people are seeing, okay, this is a new style, and people are seeing it as a standard. I would say, what happened to the way we used to do it? Go to the church, give that particular part of that whatever of the solemnization, its own place, and then you go out and then do whatever you want to do, whether garden, whether hall and stuff. And people are like, okay, I know the world now is digitalized, because we are seeing how the white people go to garden and then get married there, and they do their reception
to the sea, beside
the sea. Yes, and that is what we take now as a standard. So you see, standard is not a bad thing, but you ask yourself, who are you first? What are your morals? What is your belief? Where are you standing? Because in social media, yes, I know it's not everybody that is following whatever the social media is presenting out there, because even in the social media, you can still cut your community and say, these are the kind of things I will read, these are the kind of people I will follow, these are the kind of videos that I will watch. You restrict yourself to a certain community that it will not affect your belief, your standard, your moral standing, even in the society. But when it becomes like the example you gave, looking at Prudence, this is her standard, I'm copying. Looking at Joyce, copying her standard. Looking at Hassan, copying his standard. At the end of the day, I'm the one that is confused. Them, they are moving. And then you are stagnant, thinking you are moving. like until they ask you where are you standing, and you
don't
start,
even have
you
any
don't
idea.
you don't even have
You
where
see-
you are standing.
You see, the thing is, one very disturbing thing about the social media standards or standards in general is that if you don't have your own personal standard, you're confused. And the moment that you become confused, there's no growth.
You're doomed.
There's no, you're doomed. Actually, yes, you're doomed. It's like you've totally lost essence of who you really
Living.
are, or why you are even living in the first place. And so you're grabbing at straws, and straws would burn. Straws will break. Straws will snap. So if you continue grabbing at straws, you don't have a solid foundation of you can't stand and defend yourself anywhere you find yourself. You're saying, okay, so this is the kind of wedding I want to have because this is the kind of wedding I'm seeing. And then you go ahead and do it, and then when the marriage in itself begins, you're confused and you're at a loss. This is the kind of birthday party that I want to have. Then when the debts are now settling in, you're now confused as to how am I going to pay back these debts that I took and all that. So how focused are you on you and building yourself according to the standards that you have put in place for yourself? And I mean guided especially by the Bible, because we are Christians and we already have set standards. So if you're living according within these set standards, some other things would not easily distract you. You would go to the social media, see certain things, and just say, I'm happy for these people and move. There's no even reason to be jealous in the first place. There's no reason to cut corners to get to where they are. There's no reason to cut down yourself and over time be having low self-esteem, because a lot of times these things stem from low self-esteem. We're talking about how some of the times we do certain things because we are not seeing our worth. I think it was last week that we were talking about it. We don't even see the worth of who we are. We're not seeing how special and how wonderful we could be. We're just banking on how wonderful and special someone looks like. Okay, so when this person is looking special and wonderful, I want to be like this
The
person.
thing with that we don't understand, Prudence, is the fact that generally nobody wants to associate with failure.
Yes.
And that's why I give that example. When somebody is getting married, when somebody gets an award, when he has reached certain height, you see people associating with that person. You see people wanting to snap with, like when people meet with celebrities, they want to snap with them, they want to take pictures and all of that. Everybody wants to associate with success. But when it comes to failure, nobody wants to. And like it's common and natural, like with every human. And that is why everybody's trying to paint that picture of the best on social media. Like nobody wants to come and post to you that, I actually failed yesterday, or I wrote exam and then I failed, or I was demoted, or I was sacked, or I am a poor person, I did not eat yesterday. Rather, when somebody offered to take them out and then they go out, they snap the food and post it on social media, and you think that's the life that the person is having. You don't know that throughout the year, that's the only opportunity that the person had to just hang out or has that kind of offer. But you are now depressed at home, saying, look at how love is. Look at how this person and that person are living their lives. So you get, for example, I'm hammering on marriages because a lot of homes have been destroyed.
Yes.
Because the partners decided that they want to, instead of upholding their personal standards or their beliefs, they are now going on social media and allowing themselves to be guided. When they see couple hanging out, dating, hanging out for date night and all of, they expect that their own partner should do the same. You don't know, probably they can afford that kind of lifestyle. I mean, a plate of food in such places maybe 10,000, 15, 20,000. And your own partner, that person earns $1 million plus. Your own partners maybe in less than 100,000. I mean, why should you allow that to be your own standard? You just want to destroy your home. And then because somebody is showing pictures of his or her children on social media attending a particular school, you expect that your own partner should take your own child to that particular school. And when he tries to make you understand that at the moment I can't afford it, you say, why did I even get married to this man in the first place? Or as a man, you are saying, look at how women on social media welcome their husband, do things for their husband, and this and that. We are forgetting our own uniqueness and appreciating what the social media is putting forward. So when you get back home, if your partner is not the picture, you're only seeing that picture on social media and expecting that your partner be that person. And when you don't see that, it becomes a problem.
True.
So you start giving attitude. Sooner or later, I'm even tired of this marriage. So if not for these children, what will I be doing here? Like, you start seeing statements like that. But I think it will do ourselves good, our society at large good, if we know where we stand. Like Prudence say, you will just be swayed away if you don't have your standard. But if you have your standard, you even guide you which community should I belong to on social media, and like, who are you following? That way, those people that you follow, because you choose to be in this community or follow this particular person, it means that your values and your standards align. So you will not be worried that your life is not feeling challenged or feeling. Instead, you see yourself growing, trying to be a better version of who you are. And that's why I always say, embedded in everyone is greatness. Don't think that, Prudence is greater than myself. Prudence, this one is more than me. And all of there's something in you that other person cannot do. And there's something in me that maybe you like. God is deliberate about putting that gift in everyone. So identify your own. Don't sit down saying, see us, Ekwa. We don't used to pray like this. We don't used to go to church barefooted. See these other people, they go to church barefooted. Like, don't sit down and be thinking, why are they doing that? Why are you also worshiping your own way? It was a preacher that said, try to understand why people do things the way they do, instead of you wanting to copy them.
And I also don't understand why you would decide to identify with a group of people, and then at the end of the day, you're now complaining out loud to other people that really don't care what you have to say. And you're complaining to them that we are not doing things the way the others are doing. Why did you decide to identify with us if you're not going to abide by what we are abiding by? I really don't understand why we do things like that. And over time, the social media
standards.
That's what I was going to say.
Even those people that will be in a particular denomination and expecting a different act is the social
media influence.
Imagine that maybe in that particular denomination they had an event and then they were all out. It was on social media. Everybody posted, say, see our own man will never do something like this. We is only this way, that way. And that is why you are unique, and they are them. Like, you are unique in your
How
own
can't
state.
you just
We're not
find
saying that there's no
pleasure
room for innovations, but like, don't try to copy people. Don't try to be another person.
Of course.
Like, be guided by your own standard and your values. Some of these things you see are not true. They are not. If you know the number, sometimes you see certain ladies, you see skin, glowing, see me dark skin, see me black, like what, see spots and all of that. You don't know the filter that the person is. You don't know the kind of phone that the person is using. The person has to go under sun and raise the face up and then use all, and then you are there saying, see skin gold, see this, see my skin. You want to go and burn your own skin because you want to be like the other person. Meanwhile, it was just filter.
We forget that people want to just give the best side of them. Nobody wants to show you how much he's struggling in his home or in her business or whatever endeavor they are involved in. Everyone just want the best. That is what brought about Joy saying you snap a lot of pictures and then you're struggling to just find one or two out of the best from all the ones
that is
you
if
snap.
you find.
That is exactly. So that is to show you that everybody wants to only paint a very good picture. Nobody would struggle and snap and show it to you. No, you only find the best. So we need to also have that idea when we're looking at people's standards, we're looking at other people and we're hoping, okay, we want to be here. We also need to give everybody that benefits that, okay, we are all humans. In as much as he is good in this aspect, there's definitely another aspect in which he's struggling, and that means I am also normal. I am not abnormal that I have this struggle and I have this other struggle. Instead, you don't just balance and say, okay, because I am struggling in this aspect, well, I am not the longest finger, so let me just relax. No, you still keep pushing, not forgetting that you don't have to emulate something else that someone did, because we all have our struggles as well.
We all had the story of this like a musician or a gospel singer at one point, where you always see her and her husband, and like most of the places she went to minister and all of that. For some people, they just see how beautiful this is. My husband is always not available to even support her. Unknown to people, she was going through domestic violence. Like every day she's being beaten and all of that. Not until she died, nobody knew that part of marriage, that part of suffering that she was following, like that she was going through. But somebody out there will just see she's having her best life based on what you're seeing on social media. A lot of times you see people make posts, we'll prepare the singles. Oh, singles, you will not breathe and all of that. And you just feel this person is having the best life. So when will my own turn come? You hear people saying, God, when? Now you hear people say, God, all the times I say, God, when, forgive me, forgive me. I didn't know that this is what this person is actually going through. God, forgive me. So, like, let's appreciate we. And by saying let's appreciate we, I don't mean that you should be stagnant or you should embrace your weaknesses.
No.
Like, get to that point of knowing who you are. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Work on your weaknesses to become a better person. But not that for you to just say, condemn yourself based on what you see on social media. Some even go ahead to say that, they wish they can ask their parents, where were they when the likes of Ute Dollar, Dangote, and the rest were actually building themselves? And like today, we were talking about rich people, like they are amongst them, that they want to question their parents. And sometimes some people look at certain mansions and buildings, they say, hi, if our parent or if our dad or parent did this and that, as in I wouldn't have been here, I wouldn't have been there. And somebody asked, the amount of drug abuse going on in the mansion? Are you also aware of the depression? Are you aware how that some of these people cannot even stay in that mansion? Like they sleep from one hotel to the other. And hear somebody saying, God forbid that I have that kind of riches and I cannot like enjoy it. So don't be quick to wishing. I wish that this based on social media standard. That's why today people are going into Yahoo. People are going into ritual. Young ladies are going into prostitution. Like, because they want to meet up with standards, with social media standards. That's the bad thing about it all. Because you find yourself prioritizing the wrong thing. You find yourself engaging in negative vices because you want to impress. Impress somebody that, and they can, like, you cannot have the best wedding. You cannot have the best photo shoot. You cannot have the best, like, another one will still come out. So imagine that your life is tied to social media standard. You are in trouble.
Really, don't be quick to wish for something you don't know about. Imagining you're saying you want a rose. Do you have an idea that there are tongues just beside the rose? Will you want to make room for the tongues as well, or it's just the rose or nothing else?
You know something that Joy said here. And I find it really funny because a lot of times that's where our attention is. You're just so focused on the glam, right? And you're not seeing the toil behind it. And there's also the fact that a lot of times we focus solely on the standards that the social media has placed, that we let go of standards that we have built over time. For instance, a lot of us that grew up in the Christian homes have standards. You remember that you're going to school, your parents keep telling you, remember where you're coming from and things like that. And then you go around and you're looking at what is on the social media. You're like, no, we have to feel among. I have to have this much likes. And to have this much likes, we were having this discussion recently with a colleague, and she said that there's this trendy program on the Nigerian internet and everywhere, and everybody just talks about how these people come into a house together and they just do certain kind of things, and out of them you find a winner and everybody goes home with millions and all that. Some people just make millions in 3 months. But here it is. This is where the issue is. She was talking about how bitter she was about how a man would come into that event and be himself and win, while a lady would come into that event and she would have to show that she's a prostitute or a whore or something negative. She has to pick fights. She has to show off her body. She has to be in certain kind of relationships to even reach the top 10. And automatically you're dropping your ego, you're dropping your values, you're dropping everything, even your modesty, you're dropping it. Everything is just trashed. Okay, we tie it in the trash and we throw it in the trash can. Then we come and just become promiscuous on the on the television, and everybody just sees it and just like, this girl, she's a celebrity. Maybe this is now the new in thing. This is the in thing. So let's just go ahead and do the same thing. And you want to have the same kind of likes, so you have to imitate her behaviors, and you're doing it to get likes on the social media, and you're doing it to get attention. Even in your day-to-day life, you dress up that way so that people, when you walk past, people will turn and take a look. Oh, this girl is beautiful, right? And so you find that a lot of times we do a lot of things like that. Even for the, I know I capitalized on the women in this instance, but for the men, you'd find that your contemporaries are riding certain kinds of cars, and you're like, oh, this is what I want for myself. And you go an extra mile. Someone was saying one time that they went to secondary school together with this guy, and suddenly they hear that this guy killed a lady because he wanted to commit some and he wanted to do some kind of rituals to get money and all that, but he was caught in his case. So you find people going extra mile because they have seen certain things, and they just want to capitalize on that. But how much easier would our lives be if we just focus on the standards that we have been given from the scripture? Even that one is so hard to get to, but it makes a whole lot of sense. It makes your life easier. Okay, so love your neighbor as yourself. You live your life with love. Do you know how freeing that scene is?
You see, the social media is, I said it earlier, is an amplified space for people, you know, to amplify their lifestyle. You understand?
So social media is an amplifier.
You get it, because like I said, it's what is happening in the community that we are taking it up there. But that one is beyond just your community, because someone outside your country is even accessing what you are posting.
You have a larger audience.
You have a larger audience. So you just look at it, it's just what the person is. It's about who you are in your community, that you find a space that amplifies that. And they feel, okay, is a place now that people will see the kind of life that I live. Example which you gave to that particular kind of program that they do, and then people feel, people spend money, people bribe their way for them to get even access to the house first before they exhibit those things. If you check it very well, track them back and see the kind of life they live. So giving them that kind of platform is a place whereby they feel they can do extra and they can do well. If you allow me, that's just it. Because for your mind, you know that this is what normally happens there. And you do everything possible to enter the house.
Oh, recently one of them said that was his dream. To be in the house.
Do you get? Do you get? So because if your belief, your standard, everything fights that thing, you won't even think of going there. Talk more of even applying and spending money, paving your way, like just to get to the house. If you understand my point.
But here's actually the twist about all of these things.
Yes.
A lot of times we allow social media set standards for us, right? But you know that some of these people just act it like for example, let me use this actors or actress. Imagine watching a movie and watching a particular lifestyle. These people are acting script, and then they put it out there, and you say, this is my role model based on the script that they played. So I need also people to understand that some of these standards that you're killing yourself to follow, to adhere to, I mean, you don't get it twisted. That's just what I would say. People keep shouting on social media, school now scam, who school help? Like they even want to give you evidence. Like I said, the motivation or the encouragement for somebody that didn't go to school to see somebody that went to school and he doesn't have a job. So you use it to console themselves. But I mean, the knowledge The ability to communicate and communicate effectively is
Really?
something that no one can take away from you.
Yes.
I said I've seen people that have lost, like missed opportunity. I've interacted with someone that said, I saw potential in this person. I wanted to engage the person, but I noticed that this person cannot even speak. I noticed that, no, it's like this person didn't go to school. And that's why some of these people, like, they miss out on some of it. So don't allow anybody on social media that says school na scam or school na scam. And that's why yesterday we were talking about education and intelligence. I say when they take voice note out of WhatsApp, can you imagine that that's the only way you can communicate with certain people? And the voice note is not there. Can you actually communicate effectively? Some people struggle to type. Like they struggle to type and communicate. You will read somebody will type, send a message, you will read, headache will catch you. Because you're trying to get what exactly are you trying to say. You're thinking that the person is trying to make points here, and you now see the person will mix up. I don't know if you've read that kind of content that you can't make sense out of it. Like effective communication is when you say something and people understand. They get meaning, and that's the only way they can apply that knowledge. But imagine you can't even communicate. So some people come to social media, hey, it's not by hard work, it's not by this. My brother, hustle. If you like, don't work hard, don't work smart. I mean, they will use you and shine. There are people, old people today, that we see them, and deep inside you say, this Baba is not supposed to be doing this at this point in his life. He should be resting. This mama should not be under the sun. She should be resting. For some of these people, it's tied to what life happens. The Bible says, you put the poor you find among. But there are some things that are self-inflicted. When you had the opportunity, you didn't make use of it. And then at the point where you should be resting, you should be at least enjoying the dividends of the days you work hard. And no wonder the Bible says, walk while it is day, because the night will come that no one can walk. So imagine your night, you didn't walk during the day and the night came. Or while you are at your youthful age, you are strong, you did not do anything, like you just misbehaved. And then the time for you to, the time that you don't have the strength, you have to go and work because you have a family to feed. Some of these things are self-inflicted. We follow standards on social media that keep telling us this and that. This are at this age, you're not married, maybe like that. You see anybody will come your way, you rush and say yes, and like disregarding whether you have values, whether principle. Say anyway, now let's just enter. And then when they start punching you, and then you are a committed church member or church worker, and you cannot say it, you are not feeling I cannot say it, or it will be disgraceful, or I cannot, or you find out that the person is a ritualist, and you're like, how can I come out? They are already tied your soul here. How will I do? And the person is threatening, if you say it, I will kill you. And you are living in pain, in misery, like you cannot talk. A lot of people, we know them before they got married. Today they are shadow of themselves. Why? Because in a bid to follow up with social media standard, everybody, maybe the season is already coming now. December will enter the ember moon, marriage up and down. You see people going on social media, oh God, when you like that kind of thing will lead you into the wrong direction. When you are thinking of retracting, if God does not help you, a lot of people lost their lives in such.
Of course.
There are people that got married to the wrong people, and then they are nowhere to be found. See, there are beautiful marriages out there, but what is the standard for? Like, on what ground? Are you just saying yes because social media is saying see you, but that's the in thing? Or you are saying yes because you've sat down, you've reflected that yes, together with this person, we can achieve this. We can live God's purpose. We can reflect the image of marriage. We can increase the kingdom of God here on earth. We can, what actually is guiding your decision? I mean, we live in a time where if you are not careful, you find out you are even living your belief, your standard, and everything, your decision you are taking. At some point in this town, every young lady is baking. At some point, every young lady is selling shoes and bags. At some point, every lady is a makeup artist. And how many of them are still doing it today? So what guided your what guided your decision? Because ABC, everybody have opened their makeup school, and everybody was into makeup school or training. You just go and do 2 weeks and open your place, hey, so makeover, and everybody is rushing into opening shops, and now some of them the shops are packed. Some of them went and learned, and there's nothing that came out of it. Why? Because we are following social media standard. Get to that point that you know who you are. Where is your interest? Where lies your passion? What can you do? If you're thinking of opening a shop or doing something, why do you want? Answer the why. If you are going to a place, why am I going there? Is it because population, everybody's going there? Is it because I saw some pictures? Do you know that people attend seminars? Some people attend seminars not because they want to learn, but they want to snap pictures with certificate and post it and show that, like, because they've seen somebody on social media did that, not because they know that they are interested or there's something they need to pick up to help themselves.
So if you can go through that,
no
why
wonder
don't
some
you
people
just
acquire
learn
certain
well
knowledge and
in
nothing.
the process?
I mean, there are people that go. That's why they go to under certain training and nothing come out from it. So it's just very important that we get into that. We get to that point. I mean, that social media should not set the standard for you. Even if it will set standard, let it be those you are engaged in those communities of people that share the same values with you, and then you are pushed to be a better version of yourself. Like, imagine you are a fashion designer and you join the community of fashion designers. So when there's a latest innovation, you want to also come up with that. Like, you're challenged to be a better version of yourself. Not that you are a fashion designer and you see somebody selling shoe and she said, tomorrow we'll start our delivery. Somebody made a post and said that all these things they lie. That they said tomorrow we'll begin delivery. That what did you sell? But you see, all these are social media standard because somebody is saying sell. You too, you go from tomorrow sells, and you just find yourself operating at a loss because we're copying.
Of course. Indeed, it is important that we don't just look at other people's standards. Sit down, ask yourself questions. What is this standard you want to set? And moreover, our standard should be on God, because He is the author and finisher of everything. Imagine if you have a very firm foundation on Christ as your standard. What else do you need? You will go breaking grounds on that same social media that has been setting standard for people.
Earlier I said that if it just makes your life easier,
exactly,
you just go without stress, and we just really need to watch that.
It is really high time that we raise our bars higher.
Carry that standard, of Christ to the social media.
Yes,
doing that would help people to find people that their standard is based on the word of God and they follow. So imagine that beautiful community, always reminding ourselves with what the purpose of God concerning us, and always encouraging one another, reading from you, you reading from me. And like that, we're sharing our story, and then together we are moving. You can imagine how beautiful that community will be on social media. That means we are projecting the standard of God, and people are following, people are copying.
Not for we to copy the standard of the world or social media and bring it to the church.
True. It was a great discussion on setting your standard on social media. Thank you, Prudence. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Solomon Sambo. It is a great discussion, and I hope you have learned a lot on social media standard. Is social media setting the standard for you, or you are setting your own standard on Christ and bringing it down to the social media? It is high time we really evaluate ourselves and ask ourselves fundamental questions based on the decisions you've made before. You can recheck them and make better decisions based on raising standards on social media. Thank you so much for doing this with us. Until we come your way again next week with a special package. Do have a great day. Bye.